I'm going to be going through a day in the Dead State beta release. This has just been released recently, and it's a massive upgrade over the previous 7-day demo. To start with, on each day, you begin in your bedroom after waking up. Occasionally, some of your allies in the shelter here will come and talk to you about various problems that they're having. Also, I should mention that the game works on a day basis, so time is an important factor. You wake up each day, and you have to be back safely in the shelter before the end of the day. Also, right now, it seems like most of the dialogue in those situations where they're asking or requesting for something is always at the beginning of the day, so sometimes you'll get hit by 3 or 4 different requests at once. I think it would be better if the game would have them come up to you as you're walking around the shelter. I suppose it's more reliable that they all hit you in the morning, but when you're walking around the shelter, it would feel a lot more natural as opposed to getting hit with 3 or 4 dialogues at once. So I'm going to head downstairs now. Normally I start by walking over here into Davis's office. First, you can always check the radio. There's some DJ out in the Apocalypse who's still broadcasting, so you can see what he has to say about the goings-on of the world. Davis is one of the first people you meet in the game. He is in the position of leading the shelter before you arrive, and you're quickly put into that position because of your performance. This is just sort of a standard dialogue. You can talk with each of the allies in the shelter. You can ask them about their background, what they want to do, and this gives you clues to what they would be happy with you doing in a leadership role. You can also ask them about what would improve their mood, and that would help you get them on your side when there's decisions to be made. Let's take a look at my character. I built him just kind of an all-around guy with kind of middle-end combat stats with pretty good negotiation. You have to save up skill points to get the higher level. So right now I can't upgrade my negotiation or my leadership. As you upgrade each of these skills, you'll gain perks in various categories. You can usually pick between 2. So these are just a few of the perks. That I get a morale bonus for the shelter because of my negotiation level. You can improve your armor, you can improve your survival skills, and each of the allies you pick up have perks as well. Some of them are unique to each ally, so it's worthwhile to check each character that you pick up and see which ones work best in your party, whether they be better allies here at the shelter or in the field with you on scavenge runs. Let's take a look around, just sort of the basic layout. This is a school in Texas that you're holed up in with a few people to start, and your group grows considerably as time goes on. You can keep it to a minimum and kick people out or just refuse to take in new shelter members, but it's good to have extras around too in case you have deaths in the party or in case the ones you have now don't support you, so you want to build up your base of support. You can also upgrade the shelter. One of the upgrades I have right now is the well, so you can see the well over here. Currently, I'm working on an upgrade on the fence. Right now, it's a wire fence. Pretty standard looking. And you can upgrade it to a wooden fence, which is the wire fence with the reinforcing wood behind it. Or you can get an even better fence, which is the stone fence. I haven't gotten that one yet. It's later in the game. You have to save up a lot of extra parts to get these upgrades. And I have more pressing needs at this point. One of the most important places you'll be spending time at is the job board. This is where you can tell all of your shelter members what to do. It shows each of your people on the left here. You can sort it by name, by the job, or by how long it's going to take. This is the wood fence I'm working on. You can see it almost done with just 10 hours left. And there are a lot of various tasks you can have them perform. And it's all based on their skills. You can see the skills of each character at the bottom. So, for example, if I want Vic to work on the shooting range, he has to have the range skill of 7, the mechanical skill of 3, and enough extra parts, which you can see at the bottom all the requirements of. So we're going to leave the job board for now, come back to it later. Now we're going to head over to where all of your extra items are stored. This is another area you'll spend a lot of time at, equipping each ally with what you need before you head out in the day. It's actually kind of a tedious process right now because a lot of these screens are in different areas. So if you want to check your inventory, you can do that just as your character by pressing I. And you'll see all of your items, your weapon slots, your armor, and all of your stats and other goals, and just other various statuses. But if you want to see your allies, you have to go all the way over here to the storage and check them from the drop menu. You can't see specifically who's in your party based on the job board. You have a party of 4 to start the day and go in the field with. But when you're assigning all the equipment to each ally, there's no way to tell from this screen. And that's one of the problems that the independent screens provide right now. So I'm definitely going to be in the party. My character's named John Smith, just the generic name that came with the character. I'm both a melee and ranged character, not an expert in either, but good enough. So I usually carry the shotgun and a bat, charge with the bat, attack with the shotgun later. So let's go ahead and equip the other characters I want to bring with me. I think I'm going to take Renee, who's a medic. It's always good to have a medic. It looks like she has pretty good gear already. I might want to see if I can get her some armor, though. Going to take Anita as well, which is Renee's mother. She's melee focused specifically, so she's good to charge right in while your other characters can shoot from a distance. I think I'm going to give this armor to Renee, since it's good to keep your medic alive. Your characters can be killed permanently, so that's just the reason why I think the medic needs the first suit of armor you get. That way, you can heal your characters before they're dead. Each character ends up in a knockout status first, before dying, and they bleed out over time. So I'm taking myself, Renee, Anita, and Max, I think. Max comes with a stock axe, but just in case, I'm going to give him a few extra items he might need. You can sort your stash by the tabs at the bottom. This is a helpful feature. Another feature that's not well documented is you can split stacks by holding Control and clicking. Pick how many items you want. I just want one of these, and then drag it over. So now I have a nightstick on max. Just in case, I like to give the characters, even though they're melee focused, you give them a ranged weapon. And then that way, if it gets hairy, they can help out, even if a low chance. It's better than nothing. Ranged weapons do considerably more damage, especially through armor. Though there are some melee weapons that do damage comparable to ranged weapons, the main problem is closing the distance beforehand. So if you're facing characters that have automatic weapons or a hunting rifle like this one, you're going to have trouble getting close because you can get killed in 1 or 2 shots depending on how much health you have. So we're going to take max. Have enough ammo. I usually like to carry a few extra gear items, some pepper spray in case I happen to run into something that would be helpful against. Check Anita. Renee has the armor. Alright, I think I'm ready to go here. Fill up the medic satchel. You find these items in the world while exploring, so you can add various medical items to the satchel, and that allows you to use them. So now it's full. Let's head back to the job board. Check who's in the party. So I had Joel in the party yesterday, so I'm going to kick him out and add Max to the party. Then we need to give Joel something to do in the meantime. So let's put him on the fence build. And Vic is also idle, so we're going to put him on the fence build too. One of the jobs you can hand out is this hospitality, which is sort of like basically going around chatting it up with the rest of the people in the shelter, keeping everyone's mood up. And all of these jobs require various skills. So this one requires a negotiation skill. There are other jobs you can get, like a permanent in-house doctor, which will heal your allies faster. You can get a cook, which can make better tasting food, which improves morale. And you can also put your party to work building new weapons. Got to make sure to have your own character in the party or you can't leave. Now we're ready to go. You have to head over to the exit grid to leave the map, which is this blue square on the ground. And then you can either press M or click the globe at the bottom of the interface. This is the world map where you can see all the locations that you've discovered either by being told about them through a quest or by exploring the map yourself and finding them. Eventually there will be methods of travel, so you can get a car or horse travel, which will allow you to go faster. The reason for that is the time limit. As I mentioned, time is a critical factor of Dead State. So you start the morning at 8 a.m. and each day goes to midnight. And if your party's not back to the shelter by midnight, your party's assumed lost and the game is over. There's more work being done by the developers in this, so hopefully it will have a little more nuanced feature set to that particular mechanic, as opposed to just being hard cut off and hey, your party's dead. The other thing I'd like to see on this world map is, right now you can hover over each location and see if you visited it and how long it's been. I'd like to see a tab or an option on the side which will show you only the locations that you have not been to yet, because it's pretty hard to keep track of which ones you've been to, and if you forget, if you haven't played in a few days, hover over each one, find out if you've been to any of them, or if you just need to head off in a random direction. There's also random encounters on the map, which is influenced by your survival skill on your characters. So if you have a higher survival skill, you can avoid random encounters or just have the option of encountering them or not. Also, you can find on the world map these various locations where there's food. So there's fishing locations, and there's also harvest locations. Currently, the fishing is not implemented. The way it looks, though, is you head to the location, and basically it passes time and gathers up as much food as possible based on your survival skill, and then you can stop it and either continue out exploring or head back to the shelter with your catch. Now I think I'm going to head out. Let's just go straight north and see what we run into. Because I've explored all these locations already, there's no point in heading back to them. The particular party I'm bringing is not the strongest, so I don't want to run into too much trouble. To stop travel, you simply click on the map with left click again. Looks like we found something. Old general store. Haven't been there before. So let's go ahead and head in.